Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't posted in like a month an actual long video, and so I'm just giving you kind of a knitting progress update of all the knits I've made while traveling these last 2 months. So I don't have all of them with me because some of them I gave back to either my parents or I had to ship one of them back with some other stuff. It was just taking up too much space, and I had to go buy some emergency yarn because I ran out of projects. And something I don't like doing is going to the airport or sitting on public transportation or sitting anywhere waiting without a knitting project. That's like a waste of my time, in my opinion, when I could be doing something productive like, knitting. I actually posted a short about that, and it was like the most low effort short I've ever posted, and it got like 23,000 views, which is a lot for my shorts. But anyways, so I'll go ahead and start. This is the second thing that I knit, not the first one. Oh, let's push this over here. This is the second thing that I knit on my trip, and it's this patchwork sweater which has a like two-tone color scheme going on. So the front is like this color scheme and the back is this, and I have this Faroe Islands inspired color work for the sleeves. And this was basically scrap yarn from this blanket that I made last year, which was the Midwinter Blanket by Rowan, and in collaboration with another designer. But the thing was, I accidentally bought two of the background colors, but they were in like a slightly different colorway. The first time I bought this, I didn't think it was actually going to ship, and then the company ended up shipping the yarn to me, but I ended up buying the base color in person. So I don't remember if this is the one that was shipped to me or the one that I bought in person, but they were different, so I couldn't just make like a bigger blanket. But I also had like all the background, or I guess, is this the main color? I think this is the main color. I had all the main colors left, so I used them all up to make this sweater based off of the patchwork pattern. So I did the shaping here. This is all like improvised, by the way. I don't have a pattern for this. You can find the square patterns online, but other than that, I just like kind of winged it, and it's slouchy. But yeah, so that's basically how I did it. You can see the shaped part up here where I had to count my decreases, and it has a little tag in Norwegian because I finished it in Norway. All right, continuing on. Oh no, I didn't finish that in Norway. I finished that in like Kyrgyzstan or something. Anyway, so continuing on, I have this Ophelia blouse that I bought the yarn for this at the airport in Norway. In Oslo, there's a yarn store called Yarn on the Go. So that's where this is from. And then the buttons I had to buy separately. So this is what it looks like. It looks so crumpled up right now though, because it was sitting in my suitcase just like getting creased, but it looks nice on. I might have to reblock it when I get home, but I'm not sure. So we'll leave that over here. Another thing that I knit was this Moby neck. So the only problem is when I blocked the neck, the turtleneck ended up becoming too wide, and I feel like it kind of defeated the purpose because I wanted the turtleneck to sit more snugly around my neck. I'm usually not a person who likes turtlenecks to be super tight around my neck, but I feel like for practicality in the cold weather, I would prefer it to be more snug than loose. So after I blocked it, it really expanded a lot. So I'm redoing the neck. I should be able to finish today. I finished this yesterday, and then I just unraveled it this morning. And I have this little, so the yarn I bought in Korea, but the yarn itself is an Australian merino wool brand. And it has this little tag in French from the Little Prince. I just thought it was cute. I wanted to have a tag, and that was the one that I ended up choosing. So yeah, this is what I'm working on right now. I'm gonna insert a picture here when I remember to do it. But I also made this swan bag, which I can link the pattern. I just honestly don't remember the name of it. Or who the designer was, sorry. I used that like scrap yarn to make it though, and it turned out to be really cute. I even added a lining in it because I feel like with knit bags, in order for me to find them practical and just to put stuff in without being afraid that they're gonna fall, I need to have a lining to provide some sort of like support and layer of protection. I also made this Gigi cat bonnet, which I'm also gonna put a picture up here. It was because I had leftover yarn from my sweater and I didn't have like other yarn with me at the time, so I had to just improvise and make that little hat to keep myself entertained, and it's actually really cute and practical. Okay, so continuing on, I bought the Tin Line yarn from Sandnes Garn. Also, this is it's a Norwegian brand, but I got it in Korea because I needed emergency yarn also. So that's gonna be another Tamara Jordan pattern. It's gonna be the Rosamund tank. I actually casted that one on, but I even did a gauge, but for some reason it's coming out really big. So I'm probably gonna have to unravel that. And the thing about using yarn that fine is it knits up really slow. Like I'm using a size US 2 needle for it, and it's going to take some time. Also for this one, wait, this green one, it used also a size 2 needle. I think I sized up because I didn't have it and used like a 2.5. I think I knit this in a week and a half though, because I was really on top of that. Oh, my knitting fell. And then the last thing that, okay, wait, I have one more type of yarn that I bought, but it's super thick and it's thicker than I thought it was gonna be. I was gonna make the Moby neck out of it, but it's way too thick for that. And maybe I'm gonna knit a stocking by Petite Knit because she has like a pattern for a Christmas stocking. It also may be too thick for that, but I feel like the thickness doesn't really matter with a project that's not a garment. So hopefully I can get that done. I really want to use it up because it's taking a lot of space in my suitcase. It's not gonna really take any less space once it's knit up because I'm gonna go home anyways soon, but whatever. I feel bad that I bought it and won't be able, because I have 5 balls of it too, and I can't do anything because I feel like I was trying to improvise like some sort of cable vest pattern, but the cables did not look good with yarn that was that thick. And I also don't really prefer knitting with thick yarns. I think the size of needle that I usually use is like a 3 or a 4. That's what I'm most comfortable with. So like 7s and 8s are not really my thing. Okay, and then the last thing, I'm just gonna show you one of the balls of yarn because the other ones are, wait, hold on, I'll pause. Okay, everybody behold this Jinro water bottle. My Korean friend bought this for my birthday, and inside I have the yarn as like a compression device thing, so it doesn't take up that much space, because like if it was just empty sitting like this in my luggage, I feel like that's kind of a waste of space. Here's an extra one. So I put all my yarn in there, and it's kind of ridiculous, but I've always wanted one of those water bottles because I see them at every Korean restaurant, and they just have the frog on it, and I thought it was like really iconically Korean. I even see them in Korean restaurants that are not in Korea. Even in America they have them for some reason. So she got me that. That was really sweet. And it's gonna be for this Korean knitting pattern that's right here, for these gloves that are knit, I think top down, but the whole knitting pattern that they gave me is in Korean. So I don't know how I'm gonna figure this out, but it looks like this. It's hard to see, but I'm gonna do it in a red, white, black, and green colorway. So that's another one of my emergency yarn projects, but I honestly don't think I'll need that by the time this trip is over, because I think the last thing I'll have time to touch is the Rosamund tank. If that is done before I get home, then that's gonna be my next project, because I did buy yarn when I was in Norway. Like I stocked up because the yarn there was really a lot cheaper, and I use a lot of Norwegian yarn anyway, so it just made sense. I got yarn for the Dagmar cardigan by Petite Knit. Honestly, I never really knit Petite Knit patterns. This is like my first time making them, besides the Sophie scarf. I made that I think one time. But yeah, this is my first time, and then that's gonna be my second time. I even bought the buttons for it over there, so I'm kind of excited to do that because I want to make a proper garment. I feel like because I've been limited with my suitcase space, I've only been able to do these small carry-on friendly projects like this, or a tank top, something lightweight. I mean, the cardigan that not cardigan, the sweater I have right now, that's the Christmas themed one, takes up a lot of space, obviously. But anyways, so the other project that I have the yarn for is the Pomona sweater. So it's like the strawberry sweater that I talked about in my what I want to knit for the rest of this year video. So you can go watch that if you want to see some of the things I actually did end up knitting. Some of them I didn't, but they're on like the list of things for me to knit. And then some of them I attempted and I didn't have the right type of yarn, or for whatever reason I abandoned the project or just didn't really get that far into it. So yeah, that's pretty much my knitting status update. Let me know what type of videos you guys want to see. I did get a lot of new subscribers since I started, or since I posted my last video. So welcome to everybody that is new here. You can also check out my Instagram. It's also at a pilot daughters travels. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe I'll do a Q&A soon if I hit 500, and you can leave your questions here. You can leave them in the community post that I put a while ago, but nobody put a question on there yet. But without keeping you guys here too long, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you later. Bye.